The devil, that's not a name. It's a job. These are the words of the Father Malachi Martin, a famous exorcist and former Vatican advisor. Many laughed at that. Until they faced what he warned them about. Everything we call evil isn't chaos. It's a system, a hierarchy, where each demon has a role, like an official in a dark office. One handles temptation, another breaks your will, a third brings spiritual emptiness. They obey, get promoted, and report up the chain. The top of this darkness isn't just a phrase, it's a structure with its own logic. Today, you'll hear things not usually spoken out loud. Welcome to the restricted files of demonology, like this video. And let's begin our breakdown. Lucifer, his name just sounds powerful and a little scary. He's not just some angel who fell. No siree, he's the guy who planned out a whole new rebellious setup. He chose on purpose to go against the powers that be. Being a rebel, that's like his whole deal. He decided he wasn't going to listen to anyone so he could be his own king, and that big act of saying no way, that's what his whole scary kingdom is built on. His name used to mean light bearer, like a bright light from heaven. But now that name casts a long, kind of spooky shadow. When he fell, it wasn't like he just tripped and fell by accident. Nope, it was a big statement. He created a whole kingdom, built with a will that just wouldn't quit. This kingdom, it shows he's got the power to give orders and get things organized even in the deepest, darkest place. And boy does he have a lot of titles. And every single one of them means something big. Emperor of Hell, the Morning Star, Prince of Darkness. These aren't just cool-sounding nicknames, they're like official announcements of his total power over all the parts of hell. Old secret stories tell you all about these titles. People believe these names themselves have a ton of power. They say, if you call out these names, it's like you're tapping into who he really is. He used to be a really big deal up in heaven, you know? And that just makes how super scary and grand he is now even bigger. He's the #1 boss of this shadowy place, no question. A king ruling from a throne made of dark, glassy rock and pure sadness. For ages, smart folks have tried to figure out what Lucifer is all about. Like, does he have to be around? Is he a bad thing that we kinda need? Maybe he's like the other side of the coin, the thing we need to see so we can understand what's good. Some people say his big rebellion was a super important moment. They think he brought the idea of real free choice into the world. You know, the choice to do things your own way, not just what you're told. But for other people, he's the biggest warning sign ever. A really serious reminder about what happens if you get too proud or want too much all the time. He shows up all the time in our stories, our art, and our books. It's like we're super interested in, but also a little creeped out by this ultimate bad guy. He makes us think really hard about what evil actually is, where it comes from, and just how strong it can be. In all those secret old teachings, Lucifer's power is total. No ifs, ands, or buts. Old magic books and secret writings, they say he's the top dog, the main commander. All the other demons, doesn't matter how strong or important they are, they all have to listen to him when he calls. His power isn't just some idea. They show it as a real, actual force that gets into everything. Some folks who study secret magic try to get on his good side, hoping they can get a little bit of his power. Other people spend all their time trying to learn the super complicated rules of his dark kingdom. The main hangout in hell with all its different jobs and ways of doing things, it all runs exactly how he wants, with him watching everything. He makes things happen directly, by giving his own orders, and also in other ways, like through the giant, organized armies he put together. He's like a dark sun, the main spot where all the power in hell comes from. Part 2. The Shadow Triumvirate. Beelzebub, Astaroth, and Azazel. Beelzebub, Astaroth, and Azazel. They're like a top team of shadows. Beelzebub, also known as the Lord of the Flies, he stands for things rotting and falling apart. Then there's Astaroth, a big boss in hell who tries to trick people with pride and being lazy. And Azazel, who was a leader of the Watchers, he teaches secret forbidden skills. Working together, these three make Lucifer even more powerful, and they show all sorts of ways people can end up losing their soul. In the demon world, Asmodeus and Belial have important jobs. Asmodeus is known as the demon of lust. That's wanting things too much. especially physical desires. He's in charge of tempting people with these kinds of feelings. He's often shown with 3 heads, one like a bull, one like a person, and one like a sheep. This shows he has many different sides. Belial, on the other hand, is the master of lies and deceit. He tricks people into doing wrong things and really messes up their lives with chaos. Belial is also known as the demon who pushes people to rebel and disobey. So Asmodeus and Belial are both really important demons. Each one has their own special job of tempting people and trying to harm their souls. In the demon world, Lilith and Mammon are pretty important. People often say Lilith was Adam's first wife. She stands for doing your own thing and not listening to others. She's connected to night demons, and some call her the mother of all succubi. Lilith also stands for girl power and being attractive. That's why she's a big deal in old spooky stories and secret magic stuff. Now Mammon is all about being greedy and wanting lots of stuff. In Christian stories, he's often a demon who tries to trick people with money and fancy things. Mammon tries to get into every part of people's lives, making them care more about stuff than about being good. His name basically means being super greedy and only caring about yourself. So, Lilith and Mammon are big players in the demon world. They're like forces that try to change what people want and how they act. The armies of the dark, well, they each have their own special jobs. Each demon has its own specific area to focus on, and they prey on people's weaknesses. The idea that some demons are in charge of certain sins goes way back to ancient times. A guy named Peter Binsfeld linked specific demons with the 7 deadly sins. For lust, Asmodeus and the spirits under him stir up those strong desires, making people lose their good sense. For gluttony, Beelzebub and others push people to waste things and always want too much. For anger, special spirits stir up rage and start terrible fights. For envy, Leviathan makes people feel really bitter and always unhappy with what they have. For sloth, Belphegor makes people want to put things off, and makes them feel spiritually stuck. For greed, Mammon makes money and stuff the most important thing, putting it above everything else. This clear way of dividing up the jobs shows how scarily good they are at what they do. Each one of them is a real expert at their awful kind of work. All their efforts together are aimed at trying to break down everything that's good in people. Hell is a very organized empire. After all, Lucifer's kingdom needs a system that runs smoothly, kind of like a big office. Hell's record keepers carefully write down every single bad deed. Messenger spirits deliver orders all across the endless, gloomy lands. And the planning to keep an empire like that going? It's a really, really big job. Punisher demons make sure Hell's laws are followed, and of course they torment the cursed souls. This system inside Hell is what keeps everything in that scary, strict order. The ranking system there means everyone has to obey orders, no questions asked. How carefully Hell is organized just shows the cold, smart thinking behind everything it does. Yes, it's a very carefully planned system. It really shows how Lucifer could build a kingdom that works right on top of all that rebellion and sadness. Some demons are meant to cause even bigger destruction. They start wars, spread sickness, and cause natural disasters. Long ago, people believed evil spirits caused these kinds of bad things. These beings are experts at spreading terror and hopelessness everywhere. Spirits like Pazuzu bring hunger and swarms of locusts. Others mess with the weather or stir up fights among people. The things they do are like smart attacks to make humans weaker. Besides causing physical damage, some demons are experts at tricking people's minds and spirits. They act like false prophets, leading groups of people down the wrong path with false teachings. Their goal is to confuse people and hide the truth. These demons create an atmosphere of fear and distrust. Their work adds to the personal temptations caused by other spirits. Together they form a huge plan aimed at taking control of humanity. In the world of demons, oaths of loyalty and dark deals are super important for keeping their ranks and power. These oaths, often made during spooky rituals, tie the lower-ranking demons to their bosses, making sure everyone follows orders and stays in line. These loyalty pledges can include blood pacts, magic spells, and other kinds of promises that you really can't break without getting into big trouble. These deals make the top demons more powerful and help them control the demons under them. Breaking one of these loyalty promises can lead to awful punishments like being kicked out, tortured, or even wiped out. So these dark deals aren't just about making them stronger, but also about keeping everything in order in the demon world. Hell's pecking order works with dark and scary precision. Lesser demons must obey their bosses, no questions asked. Orders are done super fast with no talking back. This setup is a lot like how the army works. Every demon knows their place and what they're supposed to do. The top demons carry a heavy load. They are the masterminds and rulers of huge areas. They figure out Lucifer's big ideas and turn them into actual plans. Communication is super important. Messenger spirits make sure commands are passed down correctly. Giving out jobs to others happens, but nobody ever really trusts anyone else. Loyalty is forced through fear and the desire for more power. The higher-ups keep a very close eye on those below them. Trust is shaky in a world where power is king and betrayal is always around the corner. In the demon world, serving comes with a big price. Demons have to do what their bosses tell them. And if they don't, they can get punished really badly. Messing up their jobs can mean pain and suffering forever. Demons who don't do their jobs right face awful torture and are really put down. Their power and their rank can be taken away, and they can be knocked down to the very lowest spots in the demon world. Down in hell, deals between masters and servants play a huge part in keeping order and showing who's in charge. These deals, often made in super secret, spell out the duties and rights for everyone involved. The masters, with more power and say, they set the contract terms. They make servants do specific jobs. In return, servants get protection and some perks, helping them survive and climb hell's ladder. These deals might cover doing rituals, gathering souls, or fighting. Breaking a deal means harsh punishment, even destruction for the servant. So, these hellish deals between masters and servants are vital for them. They balance power and keep hell's structure in place. So that's part 1 of our look at the underworld's ranks. See more in our next videos on the channel. Maybe the biggest goal in life is knowing yourself and choosing the right side. We need to know our friends from our enemies. This helps us make the right choice and learn how to really stand up to the enemy's traps. So join us, search for info yourself, suggest topics in the comments, and see you in the next videos, friends. Bye.